Yep, urine, and then, like I say, the lie detector test.
Lie detector.
Now, the lie detector usually is done the day before the show, and that could weed out, 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
From the bottom, they tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a task, you can bet your ass I fulfill it. Yeah, man, I'm talking about Willis, one of the realest to try. My family.
What's up, guys? Compound Coalition. I'm here with my friend Alan Sizemore, and you are, what's your position?
I'm the district chairman over Tennessee for the NPC.
You'd think I had that, being that it was the 60 seconds ago. District chairman for NPC, that's the National Physique Competition?
Yep, National Physique Committee, based out of Pittsburgh.
And everybody starts there?
That is everybody's starting ground. It's only road to Olympia.
Okay.
Is through the NPC. You would start out as an amateur. We do an amateur show, get nationally qualified, do a national level show, get a pro card, go win a pro show, and you're on your way to Vegas to the Olympia.
How many guys can do that in like 3 shows? Has it ever happened?
Yes. Let's see, just had a guy do it yesterday. And his name is Sam. He's the big YouTuber.
Sam Sulik, yeah.
Yes, I can't remember. That was his second show he ever did.
Were you there at the show?
No, he was at the Arnold. I was not judging the Arnold, so I'm doing a seminar in Memphis, which brings me by to see you guys. And I think he did a show in California. He got first place, which qualified him. Went straight to the Arnold, and he won yesterday and got his pro card.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So his third time ever stepping on stage will be a pro.
But he was but not to take it away from him, but like that dude, he's got everything, man. He's around pros all the time. Like
that,
he knew.
What's the guy's name? Dallas McCarver.
Okay.
He's from this area down here. He did Hub City. You remember that little show down in Jackson? Everybody looked amazing at the show, and he showed up. I thought he was a guest poser. I didn't even know he'd never competed before. He done that. He won that, and then got national qualified. Went to things like I don't even know USA's or something other. I don't know. Somebody's going to correct me on that, but he got his pro card, and the third time he stepped on stage, he was a guest poser.
So all those dudes have full-time jobs, right? Like being a bodybuilder is not a job. No. I mean, most of them got full-time jobs. They're either trainers, personal trainers. I've noticed a lot of guys here lately is getting into the supplement industry. Okay.
They got their own supplement brand, stuff like that, and they're pushing that. It could be everything from, everybody starts out with a pre-workout. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good avenue for them to do that. Plus, some of them are in the industry, either working shows and, working backstage, doing stuff like that, staying active. And then, bodybuilding, working their way through. But 99% of the time, personal training is where it's at.
Personal training.
Yeah, that's where those guys are making money.
How many of those supplement companies, those different supplement lines, how many companies are there actually manufacturing? Like, you think they come out of the same places?
I think there are probably 3 big, places. I know everything's kind of based out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
And, there's a couple places out there that I know that I've got some friends that own supplement companies, and they get a lot of their stuff made out there. So that's just one of, I know, 2 or 3. But that one facility may make, 7 or 8 different brands, different, I guess whatever's on the menu for that certain, supplement. Could be protein, pre-workout.
Got it.
Yeah, I know. And I was just talking to a friend of mine earlier today. You go to a lot of the bodybuilding shows. You remember the goodie bags, from the shows. All the supplement companies used to be able to give samples. Well, a friend of mine said, hey, I'd soon just give you a full-size product, because on samples, it takes those guys a while to shut the production line down and start making those samples. So you get $1 for a sample.
Right.
That sounds very affordable, but they want a minimum of 10,000 samples.
Yep.
For them to do that, because they have to shut production down.
Yeah,
because it's the individual package. So he's like, hey, it's cheaper for me to just give you a full-size product.
Got it.
So I don't know if the goodie bags are going to last at some of the shows. That's no inside scoop or nothing like that.
Right.
But a lot of the big shows, if you go to junior nationals, masters nationals, stuff like that, university stuff, these shows have 1,400 people in them.
Wow. Contesting.
Yes, that's competing. I judged up there for 3 days, and I sat in a chair for probably 14, 16 hours a day judging. Mm-hmm. So it's a long days.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, so they just buy, a big truckload of T-shirts and pass them out. And honestly, if you was competing, are you going there for a goodie bag, or are you going there for a pro card or a national qualification or something?
True,
you know what I mean? I mean, the goodie bag's nice, but, how you said, how many stuff you actually bought that was in the...
Yeah, that's true. Those are big boy companies too, being able to put out that many pieces of product. Like SOE, if we were going to do a bag, I couldn't do 1,400 bags. Like there's no way we could, do that.
I'd love to hit you up and go, hey, how about giving us some bags, for all the athletes? Mm-hmm. And you'd be like, hey, why don't I just give it for the overall winners?
Yeah, we could definitely do something with that. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be super cool. Yep. Yeah, we stole your idea. Like we loved going to the shows, and you guys always had those VIP, the photo backgrounds.
Oh yeah,
we got a couple of those. Our friend Kiri put those together for us. So we've got a big, huge, round logo photo spot, and then we've got a big one that says SOE and stuff on it now.
Well, I think it's awesome. I don't get a chance to come down here much. You're about 4.5 hours from my house. But when I come in here, I definitely am going to try to grab a shirt. I want a picture with you in front of this,
Awesome.
It's a good destination if you're down this way.
So how'd you become, you did bodybuilding?
Yes, I started out competing.
And then how'd you become a judge? How'd you get the position you have now?
Well, I started out bodybuilding, and I also worked for Harley Davidson. I was event coordinator for Harley Davidson.
Okay.
And one of my first bodybuilding shows, I was like, God, this is unorganized. I said, I can get 300 drunks to a wet T-shirt contest in a straight line. And we just had, back then, this was 20 years ago, I just thought it could be more organized. And I volunteered and started working. The show was volunteering. I worked for 2-3 years. I'd sleep in my car. I'd find somebody competing. And I'd say, hey, can I sleep on the floor for $20 where I can take a shower in the morning? And I'd do that. I'd get up the next morning, and I'd go and I'd just help the guys set up the stages and do all that. And I learned everything I could about that. And I finally got to be a head expediter, the guy that's everything, backstage. And I was doing that, and one of the judges said, hey, man, you need to come and start judging some. So I took a judge's exam, took the judge's test. I passed it, and then become a judge. And I become, I guess, the vice chairman for Tennessee. So there was a guy named Roger. He was the main guy in Tennessee, and he would always have a meeting with everybody, and he would be like, hey, man, if y'all need anything, call Alan. Yeah, if he needs something, he'll call me. Mm-hmm. And then he retired. And everybody's like, who do you think it'll be? Go, well, my God, he's already doing it.
Yeah.
And it wound up being that way. And I've been the chairman for 5-6 years now, I guess, almost 7 years.
Yeah, your shows are a pretty big deal, man.
I'm very anal about everything has to be really, really good. It has to be about the athletes. If you was competing, you're putting 20 weeks of training into this one-day event. When you get there, there should be no hassle from me. Mm-hmm. It's all about you. We should be organized. We should start the show on time. We should have expediters, saying, hey, come on, John, I need to come over here and line up. You're the next class. I don't need nobody coming over yelling at you to move.
Right.
I always say to you, it's easier to ask somebody to move than it is to yell at them to move.
Got it.
Yeah. One way I want to move, another way I maybe don't want to move.
So how many, when I think bodybuilding, I think Mr. Olympia, huge monsters and stuff. Yeah. NPC what is that class in your show?
That would be the open.
Open.
Yeah. We have basically 3 classes. We have a true novice, which is a first-time competitor who's never competed before. And that first-time competing, you can only do it one time. One time in your life, you can be a true novice. And then we have novice, which is that person that's just done true novice, and he's really maybe not ready for open. But, it's a good little place there for a year or two to grow and learn. You can win the overall, and then move up to the open. And then the open classes, that's the one where you get nationally qualified. First and second in the open, nationally qualified for the remaining year that you get qualified and the complete year of next year.
And open is like posing trunks and that deal, or what's the board shorts class?
That's men's physique. So in men's, you got men's bodybuilding, classic, and then men's physique.
Got it. Is there a woman's open?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all the women's classes have all the open classes too.
Okay.
Bikini, fit model is new this year, new class. Got fit model, bikini, wellness, women's physique, figure, and then women's bodybuilding.
We were talking earlier, you said wellness is kind of like they came from track and field and maybe soccer and stuff like that?
Yeah, they got great legs, big muscular legs, great glutes. A little bit unbalanced. Upper body's just a touch smaller. Okay. Normally we're looking for balance, in the women's bodybuilding top and bottom, but in wellness, they can be a little bit unbalanced, and that's okay.
Will most of them will they transfer up, or do you think that's where they want to be? Or is there, do you think I think when dudes get into bodybuilding, they're especially as a teenager or something.
Yeah.
you're like, I'm going to be 350 pounds. You know, everybody thinks, you know, Schwarzenegger.
Well, you know, everybody talks about that. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing men's physique at one point in time.
Okay.
And he just grew through it.
Okay.
And then he went to classic and he grew through that and he wound up being a bodybuilder.
Okay.
Same thing with the girls. A lot of girls, they like the look of maybe bikini and they just stay there.
Okay.
You know, and they don't need to put in more muscle or anything like that. Just kind of work on a little bit of shape, symmetry. But you go to wellness, those girls want to put on a little bit more muscle. They enjoy doing, you know, heavy squats and all that stuff. So but they may stay in that, or it could be an opportunity for them to grow into women's physique or women's bodybuilding for that matter.
Do you think they find other job opportunities once they're doing shows like that, and they kind of, something else kind of falls in their lap where they can kind of quit the day job they don't want to do and kind of be in the industry?
I think it's very broad, because I see a lot of people making good money on YouTube, you know, Instagram, and really they're putting more effort in that than they are the gym.
Okay.
You know, I feel like, you know, Sam, the YouTube, I think he did all that on the front end, on the YouTube side, which honestly, that gave him a lot of freedom for the bodybuilding side.
You think he's going to pursue the bodybuilding thing real serious now, or do you think he was just kind of trying to prove that he could do it?
I think he was proving he could do it.
Yeah.
And everybody saw him, and, you know, he had the crazy hair. I wish he'd left the crazy hair. He didn't have to get a haircut. But I think he's going to try to do a couple pro shows to see where he's at.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see, is he here or is he here? And he's got a great physique, and he's in great shape. I think his condition is what's carried him right now. And then he just has to fill out a couple of, you know, little small areas on his physique. And I think he'll be pretty good. But I don't know how close he was to the cutoff on the weight for men's physique. I got a feeling he's going to be one of those guys that puts on muscle. I think he's going to wind up being an open bodybuilder. In my opinion. I think that's where he wants to go.
When you go to shows, so I've been to your show. Your shows are the only shows I've been to.
Yeah.
I've never been to like a Universe. I've never been to an Arnold or anything like that. But they have the big trade shows, right? That's where those are. The big open floors
expos.
And what's the best one you think? If you could only go to one of them in a year, what would you go to?
Probably Olympia.
Okay. Is that
Olympia is just a Super Bowl.
Is that back in Vegas?
Back in Vegas. It's just it's massive.
Yeah.
You know, they have I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 150,000 square foot of just vendors. And then you know, where they're working and doing the pro prejudging and stuff out in the expo. So we're out in the expo with all that going on, with a show that you could just walk by. You're going by and getting a free sample at a booth, and you turn around and you're seeing possibly the next Mr. Olympia or Miss Olympia standing right there on stage in the expo. It's pretty awesome.
That's cool. And all the gear manufacturers, the equipment manufacturers, everybody's there?
Oh, yeah. You can do all that. You know, everything from, you know, energy drinks to, you know, the latest and greatest T-shirt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to Chris a few times from Arsenal, and then when we walked into the Flex show, they were sitting there. Lo and behold, there's Arsenal Fitness with a bunch of equipment and stuff there. That was awesome. Arsenal's
just right across the street from my house almost, so it's those guys are doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I want to switch my gym over to all Arsenal stuff.
Yeah, it's very probably one of the most quality built stuff.
Yeah, I've got their T-bar row out there right now.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just feels like it's heavier.
It is heavier. It is heavier. I can't lift as much on Arsenal shit. It is heavier.
But it's a great piece. Andrea, Jamie, his wife, they've done a fantastic job with that.
Their gyms are nice, man.
Yeah. We went over to their house. They gave us kind of like I guess a wedding. My wife's there. Engagement. Yeah, an engagement party.
That's cool.
We had a really good time over with them. We've known them for years.
That's awesome.
Good people.
So you're heading to do a seminar right now. Everybody has to take a seminar, or it's advised that they take a seminar before they do a show?
It is a free seminar for anyone to come to.
Okay.
Including yourself. You're invited.
All right.
If you're in Memphis tomorrow. And
I actually we go to Memphis quite a bit.
Yeah. So we started doing these, probably 5 years ago. I always remember when I was competing, there was nowhere to get any advice. I'd find one guy in the gym that competed. We'd try to pick his brain. And then, we started doing seminars. And basically all I'm doing is talking about, what to expect if you're going to do a show. What you need to do. I always say my theme is be early. Mm-hmm. And be early is not necessarily being early for work that day. Early is like, you have to have an NPC card to compete. Get your NPC card. on top of that too, a lot of times that we get discount on hotel rooms. So go and get that discount on a hotel room. Be early. Be one of those guys that got that discount on that, and that money saved will help you later down the road. I'd hate when people wait till the last minute and then they complain about how expensive it was.
Got it.
Well, they didn't take advantage of any of the discounts that we did. So, just what it is, A lot of times I'll get, from 50 to 75 rooms, whatever the hotel will let me have at a discounted rate. But with that, I'll put those up for 6 months. And I know I'll have someone call me 1 or 2 weeks before the show.
Right.
Hey, where's the discount on rooms? I said, well, they're gone.
Is there and there's an advantage to staying in that hotel around all the athletes, right? Rather than getting an Airbnb somewhere off site.
I think 100% stay at the host hotel. And the reason I say that, that's where everything's going on. Mm-hmm. Check-ins are 99% of the time at the host hotel. So you're there. You get up. Most time it's in walking distance, a close proximity of, the show. So I just think it's great, to be there where everything's happening. You're not rushed.
And judging happens earlier in the day, or is it the day before we as the audience see them on stage?
Well, what your audience don't see, we do check-ins, usually from 5 to 7 on Friday night. And all the athletes that come in, they register through a program that we have now that everybody in the world uses called Muscleware. And they'll register for the show there, and they'll take and we'll get all their paperwork and print it off for every athlete. So when they come in, they'll show identification, their NPC card, and I'll pull up their paper, hand them their paper, and they'll go and they go to the next station, be like height and weight. So to get their weight or their height, whatever division they're in, it could be bikini, how tall they are. And then they'll get their number, and then they'll turn their paperwork in. At that point, they could add another class. If they don't agree with how tall they was, they can say, hey, I don't agree with that. Let me go back and get that rechecked. Mm-hmm. So it's a good time to do that. But after they sign it and turn the paperwork in, that's what's going in the computer. So they'll go through. After that, they'll, if they got to turn any music, check their music. They want to buy a photo package, which I wish I would have bought photo package when I was competing. That, and they'll get a goodie bag T-shirt, then exit, and then we'll have an athletes meeting on Saturday morning at 8 a.m., and then usually start the show at 9.
Okay.
So at 8 o'clock, we just kind of talk about how the show's going to run, and then at 9 o'clock, we'll start with prejudging. Okay. Now, prejudging is when we bring them out, and we bring all the athletes out in each division, each class, standing side by side, and that's when it's really judged. That's when they're sitting there, and we're looking at it as a judge. We're looking and figuring, okay, I think that's first, that's second, that guy's third, and then maybe we want to see, a lot of times they may be a winner. You look at the guy and he's first, but we can't figure out who second is. Sometimes we may move first out of the middle and put those two guys side by side because we're trying to figure out which one's the best on those. Mm-hmm. So don't ever let where you're standing on stage dictate where you're going to finish.
Right.
So, a lot of people are like, oh my God, they took me out of the middle. That means I'm not winning.
So they still haven't eaten at this point. Like they're not putting in any carbs or anything?
I think some of them put carbs in. Most of the time they'll do some kind of carbs in the morning. Okay. Could be some pancakes or something to get a little bit of blood moving.
We've been in the hotel. We were walking through the hotel at one of your shows in Murfreesboro. And when we were walking through, we were walking past rooms, and one of the girls we saw from the show, she had cakes and all kinds. I'm like, what's going on here? And they're like, well, they're just eating, like they eat afterwards. The show is over with.
Yeah, the show's over. And I always stress on that. Don't get carried away with the sweets. But, but on the prejudging, like your question, we do all the judging that morning. And by the night show, I usually have the results in my hands. What's going on. But we do reserve the rights to rejudge a class. Mm. If we got a class that's really close, and a lot of times the way it happens, all the judges will go to lunch together, and we're like, hey, man, what'd you think about that men's bodybuilding class, the middleweights? He goes, man, I don't know. I like number 74, and so the guy like number 25. And we'd be like, hey, man, what we look at again tonight, make sure that we got that right. Because our main thing is we want it to be right. Mm-hmm. And we take a lot of pride at in Tennessee to make sure that the scoring is done correctly.
How many guys might be in that class?
On the amateur side, we usually have anywhere from 5 to like 11. Okay. So 8 to 9 is usually typical.
And we're after top 3, or do we?
Well, we're gonna place top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5, and only, like I say, first and second's nationally qualified to move on to that. So second place is huge to some people, because if he got third, he'd have to do another show to get qualified.
Shit, just getting on that stage, it should be huge to people.
Oh, it's huge, and I tell everyone, if anybody's listening to everything about doing a bodybuilding show, get in the best shape of your life with no expectations whatsoever. None. Go out there and do your best and just see where you fall. I get so many phone calls. People call me and go, "Hey, man, I want to get my pro card." I'm like, "Well, that's great. What shows have you done?" "I've never done a show before."
I'm just going to order it off the internet.
Yeah, you know. Amazon is ruined bodybuilding.
Have you had guys show up that are ready to do a pro show?
No.
No.
Not that ready.
Not the pro show.
Yeah, but they're very close to becoming pros. Yeah.
How much of it has to do with posing?
If you can pose good, it'll move you up 3 spots.
Yeah.
If you're in really good condition, you'll move up 3 spots.
Who's the best posing coach?
Gosh, man, that's laying a lot on me at one time.
Isn't there one sitting out there right now?
Nope.
You're not a posing coach?
Not anymore.
Oh, man. Did you ever teach guys how to pose?
I did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's a really good girl. She was my posing coach. Got about fired her 2 or 3 times, so she's rough.
You can't judge and coach anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a pro judge now, so.
Got it.
So we that's one thing that I really push a lot. I don't think you are to be a coach or anything if you're a judge.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. It's kind of a conflict of interest, in my opinion.
So you guys have been all over the world doing this.
Oh, yeah. I think we worked 40 weekends last year.
Man.
At a bodybuilding show.
What's the coolest other country that you've been to while judging?
Barcelona, Spain was beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah. Romania is really cool. Has kind of a very European vibe to it. You know, I think you can buy Jack and Coke at like 18-year-old or something other there.
Castles and shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went to Dracula's Castle once. That was a really good perk that the promoter took us on.
That's cool.
That was pretty cool.
Are the shows different overseas than here?
I think quality of food is. Mm-hmm. I think the athletes they really take their condition very serious. I'm not saying they're any better than we are, but they take it very serious. And, the audience really gets into the show. If a guy comes out there and he's not in shape like that, I mean, been a good opportunity maybe to get booed there.
Got it.
So, U.S., everybody was trying to support everybody. Over there, they're pretty
can anybody
pretty brutal.
Here in the United States, can a dude who's totally not ready, shouldn't be on stage, get on stage?
Absolutely.
That's doable.
It's very doable. And I'll tell you a quick story. Mm-hmm. I was at a show, weighed this guy anyway, 311. I don't know if you ever drove by a gym before. And I saw him, and I just kept looking, going, what is this guy's deal? He's going to be a super heavy, So he's doing bodybuilding. So he comes through, and I see him the next day, and he's in line. And it's just eating at me, and I got to ask. I was like, hey, man, what brings you to the show? What really, why this show? What's your story? And he said, man, I got a twin brother. He said he is an awesome bodybuilder. He's been on me to lose weight forever. And he said we was going to diet and do this show together. And he said 6 months ago he got killed in a car wreck. And he said, no matter what, if I'm standing up there on stage, my brother's going to be proud of me. And I was just like, man, that really hit me hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, I will never say no one shouldn't be on stage.
I remember we talked about this at a show, one of the shows I came to beforehand, and I'd said something about a dude, and you said something to that effect, almost like that. Yeah. 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 You never know what that's going to turn into.
It could have been a woman, housewife. Maybe she's lost weight. She went through a divorce. I know some women's maybe lost 100 pounds. Still maybe not where they need to be in muscularity and stuff. But that's her stage, for her time limit, for her to shine. And I have no problem with her being up here.
That's cool.
I think it's a great support group being at the shows. I was backstage talking to this guy, and wound up me and him was in the same class, and it wound up he being one of my best men at my wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and we're still friends today.
That's cool. Yeah. How many people show up for their first show? Like, what percentage would you think does a first show and never comes back versus you see them over and over again?
I don't know. I'm going to say probably, if they do a show and they enjoy it, I'm thinking 60% they'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, that 40% is kind of a one and done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my thing is I want to keep athletes I got. And the way to do that is just Southern hospitality, in my opinion.
Right.
You know me, I got this big country accent, and I don't sound like everybody else. But we really want everybody to have fun when they're there, and I want everybody to have a good time, and I want it to be done fairly.
That's cool.
I don't think that's too hard to live by.
Do you have to spray tan to be on stage?
I would highly recommend it.
Do you have people that don't?
Yes.
Do they just like tanning bed tan?
They do your street tan that, one of the spray people, that just spray, the tan like they're going to go to prom or something.
Okay.
And that is just not dark enough.
So what's the purpose of the tan from your perspective as the judge looking up? Is it the lights and you see it better? Or?
We try to flood the stage with as much light as possible. So you need to be dark.
Okay.
And with that dark, with the tan, I think it shows out more definition. You can see more of a size, shape, symmetry.
Okay.
Stuff like that. I mean, you definitely see more definition and stuff. So if you're in shape, stuff like that, and you got your tan just on point and you can pose, pretty good show.
I remember the first show I went to, you guys had there was a young dude on stage. I think he had like cystic fibrosis or something. It was very difficult for him to walk up there.
Yeah.
And he got up there and posed and shit. And I saw him like the next 2 or 3 shows over the time. Like he was at all of them. And I think I saw him someplace on Instagram just recently still doing bodybuilding.
We've had a couple of girls that was blind that was there for a while, and I haven't saw them in a little while. That's a couple of I guess they had MS or something, and we always put somebody out there with them, to help them and stuff like that. And I think the crowd loves it. I mean, if this guy can do it, what's your excuse if you're sitting on the couch,
So everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome.
Everybody should try it if they think they want to do this.
Absolutely.
Earlier than later is probably better.
It's kind of one of those, I'm waiting to get ready. Mm-hmm. You're already ready. Just diet and do the show.
Go find out.
What's
more important? Is diet more important or body, like lifting weights more important?
Diet.
How much of it's diet?
Abs are made in the kitchen, not the gym.
90% of it diet?
Oh, I hate to say 90, 75%.
75? Probably 80?
It's closer.
Okay.
You know what I mean, though? But me and you've known each other for years, and me and you both saw both of our physiques change and we're like, what are you doing? Same old thing, I'm just changing my food.
Yeah, that's true.
And I always say it's and I hate saying this the way it is, but you take a dog and you feed him a scoop in the morning and a scoop at night, that dog will never change. He weighs 20 pounds, he weighed 20 pounds forever. But you put a scoop and a half in the morning, a scoop and a half, and watch his physique change. He gets fatter.
Right.
He gets heavier.
Yeah.
You want him to thin up, you take a little bit away.
Yeah.
But he just has the calories that he needs to run on.
Got it.
Yeah, we're not too far from that either.
Does a guy wanting to do shows definitely needs a trainer?
I think a trainer is a good source for another set of eyes. Mm-hmm. I think it's hard for you to look at yourself, as third party. Mm-hmm. Some people can, and I think some of these guys, say, hey, I can train myself, and I think that's fantastic. I know a couple of friends that do their own stuff, and they're pro bodybuilders, and they look amazing. But I kind of wonder, how would it be if they had with a coach?
How much, yeah.
How much would it change if they was eating more? Could be more cardio, could be less cardio. I've saw people back up on cardio and look amazing. Mm. It's according, I guess, on metabolism, how that works.
Yeah. It's going to change as your age changes, probably.
Yeah, it kind of slows down a little bit.
Yeah, your mom's not going to tell you, you're not ready.
Yeah, I always say, your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, your mom, dad, your coach, probably the best support system you'll ever get in this industry. Probably the worst judges ever.
Right.
Yeah, because they saw you. This one lady told me at the gym, goes, you just don't know how much fish he ate. Like, everybody kind of ate fish,
Right.
But, it's just, you're going to have winners and losers in anything.
So is there an NPC show in every state?
Yes. As far as I know, I think there's every state in the United States, there's an NPC show.
And that is the path. If somebody wants to do bodybuilding, NPC is where you have to start.
Yes.
Okay.
And when I say bodybuilding, that's everything from bikini to fit model, the new stuff. So definitely NPC is the way to go. That's the one that actually will take you all the way to the road to the Olympia.
Okay.
If you go with another organization, they just don't go anywhere. They don't have Olympia. They don't have, the resources, the 150,000 square foot expo. Mm-hmm. And people are just...
Where does the Arnold show fit in with that?
The Arnold is probably one of the bigger shows on the East Coast. It used to be massive, and they used to have, 500, 600, 700 competitors. But that was when it was open to international people to come over to get a pro card. Now, since the NPC has expanded across the water and into Europe and stuff, they're doing pro qualifiers over there now. So people have an opportunity to get a pro card in Germany or Romania, something like that. So the Arnold show, amateur show, maybe a little bit smaller than it has been, but the expo is still huge. It is a huge honor to win Arnold. You know, we got Brandon Carey, which is right here in Murfreesboro, won Olympia 2019, and he's competing at the Arnold up there. He's won the Arnold once. He's competing up there tomorrow. Well, I think prejudging's tonight, and the finals are tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, so wish him good luck.
Yeah.
Tennessee guy, you know.
Of your sponsors, like your larger sponsors right now for your show here in Tennessee, do those sponsors sponsor other state shows also, or is it pretty much like your bigger sponsors sponsor just Tennessee?
A big sponsor may do something to other state also.
Okay.
You know, we have a couple of sponsors, and I've reached out to them and talked to them a little bit right now, and they said, hey, can I talk to you when the Arnold's over? Because they're up there
Got it.
doing a booth, doing stuff like that. So they're kind of getting all that, you know, squared away. And, you know, sponsorship are hard to come by nowadays, you know, especially in supplement industry, stuff like that. You know, it's getting a little thinner. Most of the time, our biggest sponsors are coming from corporate now.
Okay.
You know, we get guys come in from either, you know, HRT or, you know, a business or something, you know, trying to get out there. We had a real estate guy, you know, Nashville Eddie, awesome guy. And he just wanted to get his name out there. So he was a huge sponsor for 2-3 years, and everybody knew him by name. And he'd come to the shows, talk to everybody, and he has a great real estate firm in Nashville now.
Okay.
You know, I guess if he was thinking, hey, if you're going to lift weights and buy a house, call me.
Do you think a dude who's training for a show and doing physique type stuff, can he work out in his own gym and get to where he's going to be without working out in a big public gym? Or you think he's going to be better off hitting a public gym also?
I won the state, and I never stepped foot in a public gym. I worked out in a garage.
Okay. All right.
So, yes, it can. Your gym is good enough to put anybody at any stage. It's just according to what effort you put in at your gym.
Okay. Do you think that bodybuilding has changed from, say, 30, 40 years ago, 20 years ago, and now? Do you think it's more of a science now? We can just get online and see, okay, these are the things we need to do macro-wise? Or do you think that equipment has changed, or like people have changed?
I think diet has changed.
Okay.
More than anything. We're starting to know what we can eat, what we can't eat. Your body, I may eat steak. You may not have a problem. You may have a problem with steak. Mm-hmm. But we are around enough people now we can figure out, hey, my body works really good with fish.
Yep.
With that. When it comes to the weight training, I think equipment is better. Like you was talking about, the Arsenal equipment is really good. But I think basic movements, got Arnold big, is going to get everybody else big.
Okay.
Lifting weights is still lifting weights.
Still have to lift free weights? You can't. Could you show up to a show and only do cables?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Men's physique, maybe.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean, but, you know, you see a lot of these and going right into the natural stuff, these natty guys, some of these guys they're not eat up with a bunch of size, but they're seemingly in shape, and they're in shape.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I'm talking condition, these guys bring it to the next level. So they're on point with
So
that.
your natty guys, like true natty, like what weight are we talking about? Like what are these guys ranging?
Let's say a bodybuilder, good bodybuilder, 170, 175 pounds.
Natural.
That's and
cool.
I'm talking hard as nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's going to have a hard time with somebody that's 220.
Sure.
You know, but in his world at 180 pounds, he's massive.
Are there any 220 natural guys?
I'm sure they are, but I haven't saw many of them.
Got it.
Yeah. I haven't judged a IFBB natural bodybuilding yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Is there money in there like there is at the higher level? Like if a guy gets as high as he can get in a natural class to continue, do you think he has to go to a different class, not natural, to progress beyond that?
I think the marketing side is better. He's more marketable.
Okay.
With that, at the shows, at the IFBB shows, we're still paying out money for the pros. So they are a purse for him to do that. But a lot of those guys, like I said, they're making a lot of side money, you know, through YouTube and stuff like that, especially if they're really good.
Yeah, affiliates and stuff.
Yeah. I think it's way more marketable now than when I was doing it. You know, I had a full-time job. I was doing this, you know, working out in a garage in a basement, you know, at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Dude, I'm not even a workout guy, and I've got a 20% affiliate with Redcon. Like I have an affiliate link.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. You know? Aaron does fantastic for Redcon. I'm a huge Raycon fan, you know.
I never met Aaron. I just know him because of Rob. And when I hit him, I was hitting him up, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm trying to get hold of Redcon. And he was in the room with Aaron right then. He goes, hey, you're done. It's all handled. Somebody will hit. He goes, you already have a DM in your Instagram.
Yeah. Rob and Dana, they're fantastic people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see them at Ardle, and she's like, Alan, what are you doing?
Yep.
And that girl has just got so much positive energy of anybody I've ever been around.
Yeah, he's they're opening a coffee shop right now, and he's like, my goal is to have it under $1 million, and I think they're doing a black rifle because that's what his boy over there has, the guy with the other podcast over there. And then they're doing he's doing I'm a daily vlogger thing. He's like, I'm gonna vlog every day, and he's tried this a few times over the years, and he usually gets about, I think he gets like 30, 40. But Len, he's nailed it this time. He has put up a vlog every single day.
That's crazy.
This year so far.
I'll tell you what I got watching. Dana was doing something every day, and it was where she was out with her animals.
Yeah.
She was with her chickens and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was raised on a farm, and I was like, I'm like, hey, I'm seeing some farm time stuff here,
Yep.
you know. But it's got to be brutally cold out there where they're at too.
It's just, it seems miserable. They have snow right now still.
Yeah, I think she went out and got a horse or something. I was watching some
They have
small
multiple.
video.
Yeah, they have multiple horses.
Yeah.
He's got a it's like a draft horse, half draft. It's a big animal. And then she had a horse, and something had happened while she was out of town, and the horse had kicked through and cut itself on some metal. So they actually lost that horse. There's another one, but they do. And he built all that shit, like the hay barn and everything. He built it off his own timber mill. He has a wood miser sawmill, and he fucking cut all that wood, cut it off the property there and everything.
Where'd you get all the time for this?
We all have the same 24 hours.
I know,
it's just how you use
seems
it,
like
right?
he does 48 hours in 24.
I get stuck on the phone. Maybe he gets stuck a little less.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe so.
Yeah, he used to be big into cars too. He had a bunch of cars, made a couple of drift cars.
He was just heading to. He was just going out to San Diego for a car show, like yesterday, the day before. Yeah.
And
I heard Andy Frisella said he was going to that Legends car show too. So they're friends. So
I'm thinking about buying an old car.
What do you get?
I don't know. I've been thinking like a 32 Highboy or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to look when you pull into somewhere. I'm going to go, what in the world is that thing?
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, it's got a lot of character. It never ages.
Yeah.
You know, it's old, so it never ages. So.
We looked at just because it happened to be there where we were. We looked at a 1950 Chevy truck a couple months ago that was pretty neat.
Yeah, those old 52, 53 Chevrolet trucks, they look really good. They usually put them on like a S10 frame with a V8.
Yeah.
So you can, and I told my wife, I said, if we get a hot rod, something, I want to be able to drive it. I want to be able to drive it to Nashville.
Yeah.
From Knoxville. So, a lot of times, my brother is big into drag racing. He wants me to get a drag car. And I'm like, that's great. That's a lot of fun. I work every weekend. So drag races is usually on the weekend. So I don't get to do much of that. And I'm just sitting here with this, big motor and sitting in the garage. I want to be able to drive it.
No doubt.
I want to be able to go out and do a little stress relieving.
You guys still live on the lake?
No, my wife's parents live on the lake. We live right near the lake, probably about 10 minutes.
I just see the paddleboard pictures. And
stuff. that's she's going down to her mom's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That, and, I don't know if you heard, but I sold my boat.
Nope.
Sold my bass boat.
Are you happy about that, or are you sad about that?
I'm kind of torn.
Yeah?
Kind of torn. I want a new one, but then I see the prices of them. It's just, oh, my God.
You a big fishing guy?
Oh, I love fishing.
Is that what you would do if you weren't doing this?
If I could be a pro fisherman. I am a Bass Masters judge also.
I did not know that.
Yes, I get to go out when Bass Masters are locally. I'll go out with the pros, make sure they're not cheating, make sure they're not using 2 rods or live bait.
Okay.
You get to hang out and talk to those guys all day about fishing. It's a pretty cool gig.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Right on. You judge anything else?
I know, just those 2.
Okay. Have you thought I should judge something else? What else would you judge if you're going to do something else?
I don't know. Good, maybe a car show.
Car show?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, being something like that would be pretty good. But, getting into like Miss Tennessee or something like that, that's another level there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just stick with the bodybuilding where I can go, okay, his back was better than his.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's something that's fell into my lap that I really never thought that me and my wife would be doing this for a living. It's pretty amazing, and I don't feel like we really work any at all.
Did you meet her through bodybuilding?
I met her at a show, and I just met her, 2 minutes. And then the promoters come up and said, hey, you Alan Sizemore, can you head expedite my show? And I said, yeah, no problem. We got a whole year to work on it. He said, no, tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
And I said, sure. I said, but I'll need her help. And I said, I'll need Becca's help. And she goes, I don't know anything about this. And I said, well, just stay next to me. And I said, you'll be all right.
And so that's how you guys met.
Yep. And then every time we'd go to dinner or something like that, I even said my wedding vows, there'd always be an empty seat beside of me because I would always say, hey, you can sit here, you can sit wherever you like. Mm-hmm. So I gave her an option. If she wants to sit next to me, that's fine. If she didn't, I give her an out.
So was she a bodybuilder when you met her?
She was getting into the sport. She was a pole vaulter for UT. So she was very athletic.
I could see that.
Yeah. She was gymnastics her whole life. So she went on a scholarship. She was a pole vaulter. So after she graduated college and stuff, she got kind of antsy wanting to do something. So she was getting into figure. And she did her first figure show. She had fun with it, and she did really well. But there was no stage time. She wanted a stage time. So then she did women's physique, wound up winning the Tennessee State Championship as women's physique. And she always wanted to do fitness. And she did a fitness routine at Brandon Curry's show, Music City Muscle, back in the day. And Tangi Johnson out of, I think she was Seattle, Washington, saw her do that. And she goes, hey, you need to do fitness. Tennessee didn't even offer a fitness class. And her first fitness show was in Alaska. Mm. So I said, find a show. And Tangi found a show in Alaska. They called her she'd come out and compete. She said, yeah. We flew to Alaska. And that was her first competition. She won it. And just started winning after that.
That's awesome. What was she doing at the show that day?
She was just coming. One of the girl that she was with was one of the promoters for another show, and she just come to watch the show. Got it. And
does gymnastics help win? Because I see those girls do all kinds of flips and stuff, right? They do all kinds of
the fitness category is amazing.
It's more interesting it's funner to watch a girl that can do all that shit versus one that doesn't. Will that help? Will that raise her up in the ranking for judging?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got to have, strength and flexibility. And plus, it's got to be entertaining. So these girls are used to a fitness routine, gymnastics. So they can incorporate that with some mandatories and, they look amazing on stage. Flying, they can put a theme with it. My wife did a jailhouse rock. I made a little jail cell to put her in and, and she came out in it and she broke out of jail and started doing flips across the stage and that was the start of the routine.
And guys never do that, right?
No, not in the NPC.
Do you look down upon?
No, I don't think we look down upon. Maybe it's, could be a little injury.
Okay.
There, I feel like the girls got their heads screwed on straight.
Okay.
So they're doing really good.
Yeah, I'd get totally fucked up if I.
Yeah, no doubt. It's me. I'm like, I'm going to run off her and jump off of that.
I was going to say I want to learn how to do a handstand, and then I'm like, I better not even say that. She's going to try to get me to do one.
Yeah. No, but I think fitness is the most entertaining division that we have in the NPC and IFBB.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's definitely fun, and she just really excelled. Just took off in it.
What do you think will change in the next couple of years? What direction you think it's going, or anything new?
I think the Natty is really going to come alive.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm a huge fan of the Natty. All natural shows. I think it's a great platform for the guys that are getting into it. Wants to stay natural, wants to stay, a little more marketable in, their area. So,
do you think there's guys who have used anabolics in the natural that have come off for a number of years that now compete in natural?
Maybe. I don't know about that. I mean, we have a really pretty thorough test that we do. We also do a lie detector test at some of the shows, so. That could be some questions that,
got it.
Come up. And if you fail a drug test at a natural show at the NPC, you're suspended for a year.
For a year.
And that's in any, you can't can't do a regular show either.
So if you had a dude who had a YouTube channel and he said, hey, yeah, this is what I've run, and then he shows up at a show, you're not going to let him compete in there.
Well, I mean, I'll drug test him and then.
Got it. So as long as it's out of his system.
Yeah, as long as it's out of his system. I mean, he could just be all talk too.
Got it.
Everybody always looking for some kind of shock factor nowadays for some strange reason.
Okay.
But the drug tests don't lie.
Got it.
And that's really good. We usually we'll drug test up to 25 to close to 30% of the show.
And then your drug test, that's a blood test? Is that how they drug test that? Or
It's your urine.
urine? Okay.
Yep, urine, and then, like I say, lie detector test.
Lie detector.
Now, the lie detector usually is done the day before the show, and that could weed out, 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. That dude, and especially if that dude's not expecting it.
Oh, yeah.
You know he's going to be nervous.
And they say, there's a way to, bypass the lie detector. Well, I don't know how to do that.
What's the lie? Is the lie detector like it used to be in the movies? Like it's in a
I don't know if it's got the little needle,
yeah.
Which I don't even know what that needle, if it moves, is that good or bad,
Yeah.
Yeah. I just let the experts that
we need to get a polygraph, polygraph from like an old spy movie or something.
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Hopefully nobody knows how to read it.
Yeah.
Be good on the podcast.
Yeah, it'd be good to have.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you for sitting down, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm always a huge fan of SOE. Always love coming down here, and I want to say thank you for making me always feel welcome when I stop by.
Of course, always. You are welcome. You guys
it's
are
always
always
cool.
welcome here.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time, man.
Anytime.
And
Enjoyed
then if they want to do a show, where do they go? NPC.com?
NPCTN.com.
NPCTN.com.
Yep. If you're on Instagram, NPC Tennessee.
All right, there we go. Thank you, man.
No problem. Thank you.
From the bottom, they